The insecurity we have in Kwara South is purely a causation of economic displacement, hard economic time, migration of people from one area of the country to the other, issue of herdsmen, loss of opportunity by the local people. And I want to say that insecurity is seriously located in economic issues we have in Kwara South. But at the same time, we cannot accept it as an excuse for many and killing. We cannot accept it as an excuse for unsocial behavior of the people. Why the local community and organized security establishment must work hard to reduce the level of violence. Issue of economic empowerment will go side by side. And it's not going to be a quick fix thing. There's no way you talk of this type of problem and you want to do it like a one and off thing. It has to be consistent, continuous strategy and sustainable strategy to be able to lower the tide of insecurity. These are the things we are working on. These are the things we are planning. And these are the things I'm very confident that within a short time, a period of 3 months, we will start seeing good results. The fact of it is that a responsible government cannot allow this level of insecurity. I wanted to take a visit to various tourist centers we have in Kwara South, which are enormous. Where Kwara South is one place that is blessed with a lot of good locations, very arresting locations. Wanted to take a visit so that we can market the place. I was dissuaded. I was dictated by my team to hold on until one or two things are done. So even tourism cannot thrive, farming cannot thrive, cultural visitation by indigenous people cannot thrive until the level of insecurity is brought down to a manageable level. The assurance I'm giving you is that we will look at it, discuss it with our colleague in the Senate, and try to throw in one or two resources to assist the local people in this arrangement.
Yeah. All right. You recently mentioned the issue of bringing projects to tackle insecurity, and recently, last week, we launched the Alajobi multipurpose cooperative society in which you empower some people, and I'm aware that there are some ICT centers. So how do you want to use this opportunity to create empowerment for people and even to address the issue of insecurity that you mentioned?
Yeah. An addendum to that, sir. Economic adversity is coming up there. Even if the people can survive insecurity, economic adversity and hunger will kill them. So which one will be your priority, and how will you take the two together hand in hand? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you have said it. They are twin brothers. One is on the left, the satanic end. The other one is on the right. There cannot be economic prosperity with this level of insecurity in Kwara South. Ordinarily, Kwara South can survive even on subsistence farming because we have abundant land. The vegetation is good, the climate is fine, and people are not lazy. So even if we are involved in traditional farming, there are so many products we can turn out to feed ourselves and to sell into the market to do other things. But when you have insecurity, you are not even going to farm. One of my staff was just telling me today that in their domain, the people who are farming today are the people who are strong enough in terms of strength or camp enough to be able to go to farm. That feeble people who don't have the prowess to protect themselves spiritually or armament cannot go into farm. I fully hope that by the time we bring down the insecurity level, the first impact of this is that there will be greater production in agriculture. There will be greater results in agricultural products. And small scale industry will start expanding. Aside from that, I'm tackling the issue of the centers we have, what I will simply define as economic center, the vocational and training institutes that we are trying to organize. For now, we have been able to build up to 9. Our plan is to establish 3 of the center in the Pelokun local government, 2 of the center in Offa local government, 2 of the center in the Record local government, and one each in Onyo, Okeore, Ekiti, and the same local government. If I'm not mistaken, we are talking of 12. The plan is to chain these various locations together so that the training we'll be having will be very collaborative and will be very extensive. Some few days ago, we had meeting with the management of Federal Polytechnic Offa because we want to institutionalize this process. We don't want to make it a by the side local arrangement. We had meeting with, we try to enterprise the people of, the management of our polytechnic to come together with us so that we can develop a curriculum and run the curriculum in a seamless and continuous way. Yesterday too, we were with one up innovation center in Offa. The Marvel, I will expect you to take a visit there one of these days. They are doing very marvelous things. It's an IT up. So what we are trying to do is to turn our vocational center into IT and technical hub, where we train the young ones almost from cradle to adulthood in IT so that they can be employable. And where we will, in the same location, where we train our tradesmen, artisans, in modern approach to crafts. Hopefully, in a matter of few weeks, this process will be on. And we will invite you to go around with us and see what we are doing. Part of the work we do is to provide electricity in all these locations. What I mean by electricity is by connecting them to the main. And added to this is to provide solar system so that continuously there will be power in these our locations. Then we re-equip modern equipment into our vocational and training center. We already have one there now, but we have the feeling that we need to upgrade it into modern standard. And I am sure within the next few weeks, we'll be able to accomplish this and start off training out people, certificated training for that matter. I'm sure by the time the impact of this our arrangement will be felt within the year, and prosperity of our people in Kwara South will improve.
Thank you very much. I think the judges of the house to have 1A, 1B, and what now. Last year, you proposed a University of Archaeology. We want to know how far have you gone with that? That is one. B, the state government is on the verge of establishing another university, tagged Kwara State University of Education, and there has been this agitation that it should be cited in Kwara Central, it should be cited in Kwara South, it should be cited in Kwara North. As a stakeholder in Kwara South, what steps have you put in place to ensure that it is cited in Kwara South? C, the Ilori to Ekiti and Kogi road is arguably the most important road in the entirety of Kwara South, because it cuts across all the local governments, all the 7 local governments in Kwara South. As the deputy senate leader, what are those things you've put in place to ensure that the dualization of the road is fast tracked? And also, according to research, more than 95% of the entirety of Kwara South don't have access to commercial banking, with the exception of probably Offa and probably Oma. Now, knowing that Kwara Southerners are predominantly commercially inclined, don't you think the lack of access to commercial banking has affected tremendously the economy of Kwara South? And finally, as a take home, not minding the fact that you were sworn in not even up to a year, politicians like you have started discussing 2027, and there is this growing agitation for power shift. What is your take on
Yeah, let me straight away go to University of Archaeology. University of Archaeology is an essentiality. In fact, to me, is in building a nation. It's one of the most important steps we must take. You must know yourself. You must know your roots. You must know where you are. That is contemporary. You must know your future. And you must be able to have a good knowledge of your past. So that between the past and the future, there's a continuum. When this knowledge is broken, you are totally dislocated. You are not a man anymore. I always tell people, the difference between an animal, a goat, and a person is nothing more than issue. Remember, a goat will never remember his father, sometimes, or his mother. Sometimes you see a goat sleeping with his mother. Doesn't even remember that this one and my mom. No, 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 no. But human beings, because we have knowledge of yesterday, we have knowledge of the past, we are able to pattern a process, we are able to pattern a civilization. So without history, without a deep knowledge of your bearing, your location on this earth, you are probably a subhuman being. And that's why we are trying to elevate the subject of history in Nigeria. In recent past, history had been cancelled in secondary school, which was a terrible mistake on the part of educational planners. But now they have been brought in. So what we are trying to do is to deepen this. By the time we establish a specific university for history and archaeology, archaeology is like unveiling history. And if in particular we are interested in this location, the same museum. The same museum itself is a mystery that's very difficult to unravel. And there have been a lot of myth associated with it. But the important thing is that these images were done by human beings at the time there was a big civilization in that environment, because an hungry man cannot go on. Cannot take the trade of crafting a stone if he's hungry or if he's not prosperous. It's only when you have achieved a level in your life that you begin to do this. So the studying those stone images alone will unravel a lot of things about prosperity of our people in this century. And it goes on like that for almost all locations. Our histories, unfortunately, the history of every enclave in Nigeria have been obscured in myth and tales. So the idea is that when history is popular again, we begin to understand ourselves. We begin to locate ourselves in time and space. And we begin to project that everybody wants to be better than his father. So that's why the subject of history is important, and the establishment of an history and archaeology university, especially in Asia, is very important. Last Senate, the ninth Senate, we are able to take it to 11. But unfortunately, once there's change in the regime, all what you have, and it's not signed by all what you have will be started again. And we have started that process again. We have presented it for the first reading, and the reading will resume now. It's going to go into second, third reading, then we'll be able to lobby around the presidency and make sure that the University of History is established and is operating. Yeah, the issue of University of Education is a very, very laudable thing. People think that education is not a paying profession. And I always tell them that for any serious-minded professional in education, any person who take the education as a profession will know that education pays even more than being a medical doctor or being an engineer. I know very well that there are, in so many schools, especially private schools, teachers are earning their money in dollars. I know principals who are earning as much as £60,000 per annum. as the principal of our institution. And so when the state government came up with this issue of establishing University of Education, I was happiest because I know that if we do it very well, Kwara State will be able to export good, trained, modern teachers, not only to the rest of Kwara and Nigeria, but outside the country. And I'm very sure that it is very, very achievable. The issue of where it should be located is not too important to me. As a person, it's not too important to me. What is mostly important to me is to ensure that we have a real university of education. Whether we advocate for it to be located, being a politician representing Warasat, I will advocate it to be located in Oro for so many reasons. Oro has a lot of communal infrastructure that can support the university. Students of proposed University of Education, Oro, will not stress themselves to have accommodation because we have abundant accommodation in Oro. Oro has a very good environment. The people are exceedingly friendly. Not only friendly, they are highly enterprise. You know Oro for what they have. We have a lot of traders who have been trading in Lagos. So there are so many things the community itself can support the university. Without prejudice to all these advantages of Uru, I always say it. Kwara State is mature enough, not only for one university of education. I don't see a reason why our amiable governor cannot establish 2 or 3. I don't see a reason. I mean, in as much as I will tell you that there are so many reasons why it should be established in Uru. I would not dispute the fact that there are so many people who make a viable proponent for it to be established in Ilorin. And I won't deny the fact that so many people from Kwara North will make proponent for it to be established. In fact, some few days ago, people were saying that Offa is mature, Offa is good enough for University of Education. But by and large, what I will say is that Uro is a good location for University of Education. A University of Education because of the old College of Education we have there. And my preference would be for our state governor to stand up tomorrow and say that he's establishing 3 universities of education. One in the north, one in Ilorin, and the first one will be in Oro. Yeah, you see, we are talking of Ilorin Ogi Highway. Quite unfortunate that we will still be on the road for so many years. And so many, we have suffered a lot of economic, economic downturn because of this bad road. A lot of time I sympathize with federal government. I'm a developmental economist, and I happen to appreciate the strength of a nation. And in most cases, when people talk, I always define Nigeria as, I don't want to call it a poor state, but by the time you match our population with our resources, by the time you match our needs with the resources that are at hand, you can't but come up with the fact that this nation does not have a lot of enough resources to cater for the various needs. I sympathize with us because definitely it's the wish of federal government to do this road. But difficult for them to muster enough resources for all the roads in Nigeria. But I will make a special appeal to the Minister of Works. This road is an arterial road that comes from Lagos through Ibadan to Ilorin or Osogbo, throughout Kogi State, up to Abuja and beyond. This is so important because the movement of people, the movement of goods is aggregated to the volume of what you can call national development. And if the roads are not good, there are so many things that will suffer. In fact, the roads itself, the bad road itself, creates a security problem. It creates economic problem. It creates social problem. I will appeal to the Minister of Works to look at this and take it as a project of highest priority. And between me and the senator representing the southern side of Kogi, we have had a lot of discussion. I'm even very sure in this year's budget, he's probably putting in some money for palliative repair of his own axis. We have had a lot of discussions, and we have said that jointly, we will promote, we will lobby, and make sure that that road is completed auspiciously. We are going to do it, and I trust the Minister of Works. He's an engineer. He's part and parcel of this 10th Senate. He understands us better. I took over his position for him when he left the Senate, and I graduated to his position. And I'm very sure he will be sympathetic to us. And we'll see results very soon. Amen. More than that, the president is the lover of development. He knows the importance of this road, and he knows that it's very, very essential. He will be sympathetic when this one is presented to him, and we have it. Yeah, but the banking side of it is part of insecurity. Banks operate where there's security of the operations and security of operation. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of robberies, a lot of violence in recent past in Kwara South. And many banks had migrated away. They come back when we start having economic prosperity, when there's more security, they will come back. And I mean, apart from that, I want to say that there are a lot of initiatives that have come up. Despite the fact that you are not there, you can still do banking in a place as remote as Uruago, in a place as remote as, I mean, because there are online bankings everywhere. I'm sure physically the brick and mortar side of banking will come up when there is better security. Yeah, you know, we are talking of everybody has the right to aspire, and when you are aspiring, you can aspire. Everybody has the right to pursue their ambition. There's nothing wrong in ambition. There's nothing wrong in people. Not, I'm not even talking of 2027. There's nothing bad in somebody having a view of 2031. That's 4 years after. There's nothing bad in it. I mean, I believe that a politician that's campaigning for 2027 is not taking anything away from you, and it's not distorting your work. So if people start planning for 2027, to me, it's not well and good. But for me, I will not do it. But if you decide to do it, you have a lot of resources to spend. So you can spend it. So people who are doing it, they are right to do it. I mean, not only talking of 2027, they can talk of 2031 or beyond. I mean, that is their business. On the issue of the zoning, governorship is never zoned in Kwara State. It's never zoned. Anybody who wants to become a governor must be prepared to work hard, to campaign hard, to convince people, for people to vote for him. Why I sympathize with the North, that for a long time, aside from Shaba Lafiaji period, Shaba Lafiaji was not given the governorship of Kwara State on zoning. He fought for it. He worked hard for it. He campaigned for it. He bargained for it. Nobody gives. I mean, you can't tell me to vote for you now if you don't come to me, and I will ask you what is there for my community. If somebody wants to become a governor from Ilorin or from the north, or even from Kwara, I will ask him, what do you have for my community? What's on the table for me? This is about negotiation. It's about bargain. It's politics. Positions are never zoned. There's nowhere we have zoned position of governorship. Even the last election that was won by Abdurrahman Abdrazak, it was not zoned to Ilorin. It was contested by almost all politicians that are ready to contest. I don't know the number of candidates we have from Ilorin. I don't know the candidates we have from the north. They contest, and because the people see Abdurrahman Abdrazak as the person that can deliver dividend of democracy, they all agreed towards him and they voted for him. So also his first time was not a zone ticket. It was contested and he won because he was more prepared than others. When you look at the time of Lawa governorship was contested too, and so on and so forth. So what I say is that we are not in regime of zoning because we want the best in any case. We want people who are prepared, well prepared to serve the people, and who are well equipped for this. So hopefully, candidates will have to come. They have to convince us. They have to bargain with us. They have to come to the table with us and tell us what they want to offer to the people of Kwara State. And in particular, they have to come to Offa here and tell me what they want to offer to the people of Kwara South. There are so many things that Kwara South people are not happy about. I want to be very frank about that because we feel